right, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's still healthy, staying safe. Uh, Finally got this thing finished, off and on for about 2 years, and I'm surprised it's even done. But there it is, it's done. Let me show you around. Like you can see, everything's open on it. Got all that taken care of with hinges are brass rod and aluminum tubing on all this stuff, even the hood. I'll take this off the stand. I'm afraid to touch it. Don't want to touch it too much. I'll show you around. I think all the anodized red turned out good. Uh, Interior, everything turned out pretty good. Now, everything opens and closes pretty good except the hood. So the trunk works perfect. The trunk works excellent. It even stays, and it shuts. And the trunk works perfect. The doors work good too. This one's a little tight. I probably won't leave it closed. And the passenger one, it goes pretty easy. But they shut and they look pretty good. See, panel gaps and everything look pretty tight. Not too big. So they turned out good. They open real easy. That's as far as they go. But that's good enough just to see down in there. See the CD sticking out of the CD player. All the upholstered interior. You see it through there. The one thing about this model is this glass was bad. It's probably the thinnest, most fragile glass I ever seen on a model, really. I mean, it was pretty bad. You see the back's got a couple little cracks in it. And that's the second one I used. You see down inside the driver's seat. And of course the engine. That's a turned aluminum radiator cap. It's got a turned aluminum in the back in the trunk here. There's a couple things back here too. The fuel filter, that's a turned aluminum piece, and the gas cap, that's a turned aluminum piece. And then those terminals on the battery, those are metal. Paint turned out awesome. Paint's just great. Got that red pearl in there. You can see as I turn it around, all the pearl in it. It turned out real nice. I'm going to go ahead and shut everything. Turn it over. Hood I got propped open with a little piece of music wire. Stays open part way, but with the music wire I can open it up further. All this stuff comes off real easy because it just got the little aluminum tubing right there, and then the brass rod hinges. I got all these decals on here. Let me show you what I mean. You see the Willwood decal on the master cylinder. There's decals on the electronics box, ignition box, and the coil. I don't know if you can see them down in there. That engine's a tight fit. I said that about this thing in the last video I made. That thing barely fits in there. barely fits in there. It's not the greatest. You can see it's touching the radiator. It's actually the fan, electric fans are pretty much touching drive pulleys. But you know, I got it in there. It fits. I'm happy. You know, it looks good. Got valve stems on all the wheels. They're turned aluminum too. They're actually metal too. They're not plastic or resin. They're actually aluminum. Shut this door. I'll turn this thing over. Show you underneath. Now I left, the headers are made out of solder, and I left them. I didn't paint them, so they're solder. And then the exhaust pipes are aluminum tubing. And then the tips I got from some model. It was in my parts box. I don't know where they came from. They're just stainless steel. But that turned out good. See, I got the little Fram decal on the oil filter. Also got Wilwood decals on all the brake calipers. But yeah, this thing, I'm happy with this. Definitely can't wait to take it to a show. This door is a little off. It doesn't work as good as the passenger door, but it works. It works. I'm happy with it. But there she is. There she is. The hood doesn't shut at all. The hood don't go down. It just doesn't work. It's a resin hood. It's really thick. You can see how thick it is compared to like a plastic one would be, and it's warped a bit. So it doesn't shut much. It doesn't shut at all, really. So I'm not even going to bother putting it on there and showing it to you. It just doesn't shut. That's probably the biggest problem with this thing I have, is that hood not working right. It just doesn't go on. And it hits the engine somewhere. I think these things are hitting because the scoop isn't quite wide enough down in here. And the engine could not go back any further or down any further. You know, it just wasn't doing anything. So there's really not a whole lot I can do with it. Well, it's not on the hinge. This hinge gets in the way if I try to just set it on there, because it doesn't go down as far as the other one. That's okay. But I'll never display it with the hood closed anyway. So I'm not too worried about that. You can see all the headlights blacked out the grill a little bit there. That steering rack, that's a 3D printed piece. That intake's 3D printed. There's a lot of aftermarket stuff on here. I don't even want to think about how much money I got into this. 2 kits, the paints, all the aftermarket stuff, all the turned aluminum, the PE pieces, the resin, the 3D printed. I mean, I hate to imagine how much money I got into this thing. That's why it took me off and on 2 years to do, is getting up money for everything to do it. You know, all the braided lines and the fittings, all the wires and hoses, and just seat belts and all the stuff for that. And kit bash stuff that I had in my parts box. You know, of course, in the back you got the speakers and the amplifier back there. Yeah, all this stuff, you know, a lot of aftermarket stuff, and it all adds up quick. You know, it might not be so expensive when you just buy a couple things, but you put all that stuff into this, like I did this one, it'll add up. See, the only chrome piece really I left is the tail light bezels. Other than that, all the stuff that would be chrome is the anodized red. I am looking for something. I'm hoping maybe someone can help me out with this, because I can't do it. But I need a license plate for it. And I want one that says Black Cherry, like BLKCHRY. I guess would work. Black Cherry. Because that's kind of the color. It's a custom mixed color. I didn't buy the color and just spray it on there. I mixed it between 2 different colors. House of Color, was it Black Pearl? and then cherry pearl. And I actually have some of it left here. You can see all the pearls set out to the bottom of the bottle. But that's the custom mixed color. But I'm happy with it. And I'm just so glad it's finally done after 2 years. But there it is. Hope y'all like it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to make another video here in a week or two. That'll be like a bench update, stash update. So I got a few models and I'm getting ready to start another custom. That one's going to be not as ambitious as this one. There's not going to be a whole lot of aftermarket stuff on it. It's just going to be like a few kits put together. I mean, there's some aftermarket stuff going to be on it, but I'll show you. I'll show you in a week or two. I'll make that video. But till then, thanks for watching.